It is the end of the month again, end of October 2025. So the September statistics came out. I'm going to go over those in today's video. Please stay tuned. I think it's really important that people understand these niche markets, and Sarasota is very much a niche market. It is so unique. I haven't done a video on the beach in a while. I'm actually down on Minnesota Beach. This is actually Englewood Beach, but I figured because I have a showing down here, so I'm like, oh, it's a great reprieve, right? And I don't really come to the beach. You know, when you're a Floridian, you don't really come to, well, not everybody, but I don't go to the beach much. I kind of enjoy it like this. But anyway, stay tuned to the October real estate market update. I never know where to start. Good news, bad news, supply, demand. I don't know. I'll just dive right in. So the good news is sales are up. The volume is up. The average price is up. Some of the bad news, I guess, the median price is down, although that's probably good news because that's more of an indication of where we're at since some of these are really skewed. We've had some really, really huge record sales price-wise here, like a $30 million sale on Longboat Key. Some of these things that skew the statistics, right? Some also bad news, I guess, for condo and townhome and villa owners is this time last year, those condo, villa, townhome sales were up 64% compared to this time last year. So we're down 64% in that market segment, condo. So you're probably feeling the pains of lowering the prices, higher days on market. By the time you do sell, you know, a bigger discrepancy from the list price, the last listed price, and the selling price. So one of the things that we're talking to some of our, especially our condo owners, is offering a financing buy down to the buyer as an incentive. And there's good and bad with that if you're a buyer. There's what's called the buy down, like the 3-2-1 buy down is a common thing that you'll hear. It buys the rate down the first year, the second year, the third year, but then it goes back to the prevailing rate, which could end up increasing your payments significantly, right, if the rates are a lot higher. There's also like a 30-year fixed buy down. I did one not too long ago at my Catalina property on the mainland area of Bradenton off of Cortez area. And $12,000 of the credit to the buyer paid by the seller at closing was for the buy down rate, the permanent buy down, the 30-year fixed buy down. So it was a larger amount, but we added that to the price. It's still appraised and we got it to closing. So it's a little bit tricky as long as you know that the numbers can work for everybody and it gets the buyer in and they're secured with their loan and it makes them happy and the seller's happy and they get their price and it doesn't bring down the value of the property for the community. It's a win-win and it's a beautiful thing. So trying to get creative with my sellers, helping them understand like we have to set ourselves apart here to get people in the door and see it when there's a lot of other properties that they can choose from, especially in the 34236 zip code downtown Sarasota. And just all, you know, that the areas that are closer to the water right now are more susceptible because of the Surfside stuff and the rules and regulations as it relates to the milestone reports that are required, the structural integrity of each property, and the reserve study that has mandated each of these buildings to maintain their properties and buffer the reserves of the HOA budgets. Anyway, if you're a condo owner, I guess understanding your building, like what's happening in your building or your community is really important. So if you've been on the market a while, but then nobody else is selling, I guess misery loves company. And if you're not grossly overpriced and you're in the realm of the market conditions and the market value, then you should be fine. I guess it's just a conversation to have with your agent. But anyway, back to the stats. So closed sales were up, like I said, 25.9% from this time last year. It's a windy day today, if you haven't gathered. But everybody's out here enjoying it. I'm out here hustling. No big deal. Cash was actually up 24.9%. amazing. Like I said, average price was up. It's now $645 versus median $450. Ooh, she windy. Maybe I shouldn't have come to the beach, but it's so pretty. Inventory, okay, is down. It's 4.8 months of inventory, which is amazing. I think it's going to go up when we do this in a month because a lot of people end up relisting their properties in November, early October and November. So I'll probably see that go up. But look, we get to look at this. So that is awesome. Part of that is because people that didn't get their prices, they were priced high, they pulled them off the market. So we went like this. And case in point, I did print out January. I'm interested to look back at January now. So January, we had 6.4 months of inventory. Right now, we have 4.8, which is good for the market. Now, when you look at condos, in January for condos, Sarasota County, 8.5 months of inventory. That's a lot. As of September, it's 6.8. So even condos have come down. 6.8 is still a buyer's market. 6.8 is still a lot for buyers to choose from. Sellers have to be competitive. The best way to be competitive is the price, right? Or control the controllables. Anything outside of that to try to be creative. If the outside needs paint, I guess that's usually an HOA thing. You know, some of that you can't control necessarily because it's HOA run and it's governed by the rules and regulations of that governing body. So if there's something on the inside, if it's staging, if it's virtual staging, if there's no furniture, I mean, other than that, it's price or offering credits. So it just depends on your local market and, you know, having that relationship and discussion with your agent as well. So, but anyway, I've got a couple closings coming up here. I'm looking forward to those. And lots of people ask too, like, is it good to list, you know, around the holidays? And some years have been yes, and some years have been no. Some people look on a long holiday weekend. Others just spend time with family. So you might be able to catch somebody. But again, I think that a lot of it has to do with timing, pricing, how long have you been on the market. If it's move-in ready, it's the shiny penny that everybody wants to see. I do know this, that if a buyer is interested, they will always come forward. There's really no magical photograph that you're going to capture that, like, of course we're going to have professional photos and everything in marketing, but there's no magical wording or photograph that's really going to captivate and bring them in. It's all of it as a package, you know? And as long as you're doing all the right things, you're marketing the property everywhere it could possibly go, you think you've priced it well, you're watching your neighbors, you're seeing where it could appraise. I mean, the other thing too, appraisers are, when they're appraising these properties, they're marking it as being in a declining market. So you might have to bring more money to the table. You might have to put, instead of 20%, 25% down. I had that happen recently as well. So you got to be prepared for stuff like this. These are just like temporary market conditions. They will change. I think they'll get better. I don't know. But it's all good. You know, we're here when it's easy. We're here when it's difficult. And that's life. Oh my gosh, I hope you can hear me. Holy cannolis. So it's not always easy, and real estate's a challenge, and it's been a challenging market this year, I will say that. Definitely not as bad as the Great Recession, I think, but I've been doing this a lot longer. I'm a lot smarter, I hope. I think I am. I've learned so much since then. I've changed a lot since then, and it's bettering for my clients, right? They have that much more market knowledge, experience. I can compare the markets. I can kind of foresee when things are starting to happen and change in your local little, you know, neighborhoods and things. But anyway, if you have any questions about the market, or if you're thinking about listing your home in Manatee, Sarasota, or Charlotte counties down here where I am, it's beautiful, or anywhere in the mainland, Sarasota, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, call me, text me, email me, Shayla@twit.com, and my cell is 941-5 544-7690. I hope you enjoy the end of month market updates. I think that it's important to, it's a long conversation. It's hard to just, when someone asks me, hey, how's the market? I can't just text it. It's just so much to know and understand. I have very positive vibes about the market going forward, though, because I think the first half was just, it was just a lot of unknowns and uneasiness in the marketplace and just so much inventory. So I feel like it's gotten a lot better, and the best is yet to come. So call me if you have questions or would like to set up a consultation with me. Again, 941-544-7690.